What is up, everybody? All right, so right off the bat, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and like and share this video. Today's topic, we're going to go over a city council meeting that happened on Thursday, November 7th, I do believe. Let me check here just to make sure because I don't want to give you any wrong information. Yes, Thursday, November 7th. Going to go over a couple of different items that was discussed in this meeting, and some things that weren't discussed in the meeting. But it's not a personnel matter. It's an issue that needs to be brought up to the city's attention, to the citizens. So, again, this is going to be a very, what I consider, an important video that you need to put out there to your friends, put out there on other social media pages, please. First things first, we're going to go into a little bit of discussion here on the first video is going to be part of the city council meeting that was, they were discussing, they had some issues about some dogs that I feel is totally they were using the police department in the city, I think, weaponizing the police department, animal control, going after this gentleman and his dogs. The whole city council, or most of the city council, was really getting involved in the discussion, wanting to go after this guy, issue him citations, give him the max sentence, or give him the max fine penalty per ticket, and all this other stuff. But anyway, we're not going to go in to discuss that. You can find that on the City of Jacksonville's YouTube page, and you can watch that part of the video. It was pretty lengthy. But once they got done with everything, they brought up the budget. Okay, they wanted to bring up the budget for 2025. Now, not a whole lot to this video because they went into executive session, and we're going to discuss that a little bit more once you watch this little just short part of the video. Okay, so everybody just hold tight
on there. Excuse me, we have already taken care of. So now we are good with all of our motions for ordinances and resolutions. At this time, we will have budget discussion. A little over 2 weeks ago, you all received a copy of the proposed budget for the year 2025. Let's talk about it. Y'all got any questions, anything you want to know about the budget first?
I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session, discussing.
It's personnel, related to personnel matter?
Related to personnel matter.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to go into executive session. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed by nay? Okay. We will temporarily take a break for a second. Y'all make yourselves comfortable. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay, guys, so they were in executive session for, a good amount of time. And I didn't figure I needed to just let y'all sit here and just watch people walk around the city council chambers. Bishop Bolden was the one that actually made the motion to go into executive session or executive chambers or whatever, because they were going to discuss a personnel matter. And that's what you do, because you can't discuss that out in open. City council members have to discuss that there in the mayor's quarters, or in the mayor's council briefing room or boardroom or whatever. Okay, so, but they were in there an awful long time, and it brought up some questions. So of course I reached out to people, several different people, and tried to get them, tried to find out exactly what was going on in the executive session. And yes, it's a personnel matter, John. We can't discuss that with you. But the one thing that should have been discussed out in public, in the public forum there in front of the citizens and in front of the video camera was a discussion about the city pay raises. Okay. But nobody knows what the city pay raises are. Well, I'm going to tell you what the city pay raises, or at least my understanding of what the city pay raises for the city of Jacksonville are going to be. Now, the mayor, city council members, chief of police, all directors of all department heads or different city, groups like the Parks and Rec, Street Department, all city employees except everybody that is under the rank of the police chief, okay, at the police department will be receiving a 4% raise. Okay, a 4% raise across the board for everybody except the captains and all patrol officers and all people under the police chief at the police department. They will be receiving a 2.5% raise due to them allegedly getting a pay raise earlier in the year or maybe at the end of last year. I'm not for sure. But my question here is, as a citizen of Jacksonville, where's that money coming from? 4% raise. The mayor, everybody's getting a raise, and they did not discuss it in front of the city council meeting. Okay, they did not want that information out. They discussed that behind closed doors, which is not supposed to that's not supposed to happen. They're supposed to let the citizens know, talk freely, and ask questions. And there were questions asked about the pay raise. There were questions, there was problems, there was situations. Where's this city going to come up and pay for those pay raises? The mayor's history at his previous job at a church in the city of Jacksonville was also brought to light, evidently, because he was over finances at the church, and he may or may not have cost that church a lot of issues with his financial decisions and giving people raises, and didn't have the money to give people raises. So it seems like, from the word of several city council members, that he's up to the same old business here in Jacksonville. Let's just go ahead and give everybody raises, even though we might not be able to afford them. Okay, so big, huge problem there, I think. And I want the citizens of Jacksonville to be able to know this. If they don't FOI that information, or if they don't FOI the minutes for the city council or the proposed budget for 2025, they're not going to know this information because the city's hiding it from you. The mayor's hiding it from you. The city council members want it hidden from you. Not all of them. I'm not going to say all of them, but I think there's a distinct few on that city council that want that information hidden from you because they don't want to have to answer to it. They don't want to have to answer questions. But again, like the mayor has said before in a previous city council meeting, the citizens of Jacksonville don't know what's going on, and they really don't care. So they're going to continue to do what they want to do. They keep our property tax the way they want to keep it. They don't take away the mills like they should. They don't lower at least just one mill that like they could. And they don't take it back down to the one mill, take away the two mills from 10 years ago. They just keep rolling them over and rolling them over and rolling them over. Okay. So yeah, they don't care. And they're going to keep doing whatever it is they want to do because they talk about things behind closed doors so that they don't have to answer for it. Okay. Again, they don't have to answer for it if the citizens don't know about it. So I'm asking you, please share this video, like this video. Okay. Put it out there. Share it with somebody that's a citizen of Jacksonville. Share it on a Facebook page. Share it over anywhere. Because the citizens need to know what's going on. I'm fully aware that the paper knows about what's going on. I do believe Rick Crone knows what's going on and I'm sure there's going to be an article in the paper. I don't know. But people are pissed. City council members are pissed. And if the mayor's not going to listen, if the other city council members aren't going to listen, then you have to reach out to your constituents. You have to reach out to the citizens of Jacksonville, the ones that are paying our taxes, the ones that are paying their salaries, the ones that are paying for their pay raises and paying for all the equipment and paying for, new streets, new sidewalks, or whatever else, instead of just taking it from us. Why don't you just ask if we're okay with it? Put it up for a vote, put a petition out there or something along those lines. So that's my discussion about that. Pretty pissed off about that, and I'm sorry, but I think that the citizens should know what's going on with that. And it's been like that. It's been like this for years and years and years at the city of Jacksonville. Nothing has changed. It's crazy how the city does things. Prime example, okay, I'm going to go into this just a real quick before we get to the next part of it. But prime example of a situation that social media changed was last night, November 9th. Somebody posted a flyer for the city of Jacksonville annual Christmas parade, and they changed the location of it to an industrial area of Jacksonville. It's been in the same place for 50, 60 plus years. And all of a sudden, they just wanted to make a change without confronting the citizens. And people all sit there. There was comments after comments after comments after comments about, well, why are they doing that? Why are they doing it? It's because they don't care. Well, the mayor, Jeff Elmore, he was called out in one of the groups. He was tagged in one of the groups. And then all of a sudden he needed to jump through hoops. So guess what? At nighttime, after hours, on a Saturday, he calls the Parks and Rec director. He calls whoever else he's got to talk to. They have discussions about it and everything after hours on a weekend. And lo and behold, Jeff Elmore puts out a statement because everybody raised Cain and everybody was unhappy about the new location. They changed it back to the old location within a couple of hours. Absolutely crazy. The citizens care about a Christmas parade, but they don't care about pay raises. They don't care about taxes. They don't care about mills. They don't care about property tax, sales tax, hamburger tax. They don't care about any of that. They don't want to question the mayor on that. They don't want to question why rates are going up and why there's so much rental property in Jacksonville, why there's no good restaurants in Jacksonville, why there's no businesses coming into Jacksonville, but these little small mom and pop businesses, but there's no good sustainable businesses that are coming in here. We're getting a Whataburger. Well, that's Whataburger. That's going to be out of here probably in 6 months after they open. I hope not, but it's a good possibility. But that's just me venting. That's my opinion, y'all. And everybody has an opinion. And we all have a right to our own opinion. So again, comment on the video, like, and share this video. If you know a citizen of Jacksonville out there on Facebook, tag them in this video, please, so they know. If they don't believe me, call up to the mayor's office. FOI the information. Get it for yourself. But it's happening. 4% pay raise for everybody up there, except for the police department members that are below the chief, which are the 3 captains, and everybody below they're only going to receive a 2.5% raise. Now, I don't know if they're happy with that. I wouldn't be happy with that, but hey, I guess the chief's happy with it. The mayor's happy with it. He can keep giving himself raises every year until he gets elected out of office, which I hope is in 2 years. But, we'll see. All right, so we're going to go on to the next video, and this is going to be some very poor behavior from city council members, I do believe. It's about an 8-minute long video, and then we're going to go into some discussion on it. So here we go, guys. Watch it.
All right, thank you very much. That ends the budget discussions and questions. We will vote on the city budget at our next regularly scheduled meeting. So any other new business or old business?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I need clarification for why the regional and deputy director for the federal agency I had sponsored to do a presentation was not allowed to make their presentation over their program tonight.
All right, I can speak to that. First of all, I was not made aware of it until yesterday. Well, I believe it was it yesterday? With that, I did not receive an email about it, notifying me for it. And I believe Susan was the only one who did.
Which is the state statute, and I'm supposed to give her notification, by Friday noon, and that's how it's always been.
Yes, I'm not arguing that or debating that. You are correct. That is the statute. Our policy, and I was not aware of it. You did not email me. I did not know about it. So that's what I'm saying here. I was unaware.
That's okay. It was said that it was for legal reasons. So parliamentary question, what is the legal reasons why they would not be allowed to make a presentation?
Well, I was told that there were legal liabilities.
Yeah, there's no legal reasons they can't make a presentation. There's legal reasons why we would not go forward with that program.
Liability reasons.
So, and there would be no reason for the presentation if we're not going to take advantage of that program itself.
If we can't participate in those liabilities.
So that was it.
Okay, guys, real quick. We're going to discuss this. The alderman that was talking was Alderman Rose Raines. Okay. And she had emailed the proper chain of who she was supposed to email to get permission or to let the city council know, the mayor know, that she was wanting to have two people speak on a program that the city would have been, could have been, in line for, possibly to get some money, some grants to help with sidewalks and some rebuilding, revitalization of the city of Jacksonville. But for whatever reasons, the mayor, the clerk there, or whatever, is saying that there was liability reasons and so forth. Rose Raines lost her re-election bid, and I'm sorry for that. Think she was really good for the city. A lot of people agree. There's a lot of people disagree. The people on city council don't like her. There's a large group of them that don't like her. The mayor don't like her, in my opinion. Just my opinion. But I do believe that's a bold-faced lie. The mayor just said that they weren't going to listen to him anyway. They weren't going to listen to the program. They weren't going to approve the program. They weren't going to apply for the program. So why do we need to listen to them? So it was all a fixed deal. And I believe it to be that it has a little bit to do with the fact that Rose Raines lost her reelection. And she's only got a couple of more city council meetings to go before she's no longer a sitting city council member. But that's just my opinion. All right, so let's go ahead and continue watching.
All right, thank you very much. That ends the budget discussions and questions.
All right, hold on, everybody, here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and restart it, and we're going to go ahead and play into the fact and play what I just went over, and then we'll let it play all the way through. Like I said, it's about 8 minutes long. Sorry about that technical difficulty, but let's go ahead, and here we go. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That ends the budget discussions and questions. We will vote on the city budget at our next regularly scheduled meeting. So any other new business or old business?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I need clarification for why the regional and deputy director for the federal agency I had sponsored to do a presentation was not allowed to make their presentation over their program tonight.
All right, I can speak to that. First of all, I was not made aware of it until yesterday. Well, I believe it was it yesterday? With that, I did not receive an email about it, notifying me for it. And I believe Susan was the only one who did.
That's correct.
Which is the state statute, and I'm supposed to give her notification, by Friday noon, and that's how it's always been.
Yes, I'm not arguing that or debating that. You are correct, that is the statute. Our policy, and I was not aware of it. You did not email me, I did not know about it. So that's what I'm saying here, I was unaware.
That's okay. It was said that it was for legal reasons, so parliamentary question, what is the legal reasons why they would not be allowed to make a presentation?
Well, I was told that there were legal liabilities.
Yeah, there's no legal reasons they can't make a presentation. There's legal reasons why we would not go forward with that program.
Liability reasons.
So, and there would be no reason for the presentation if we're not going to take advantage of that program itself.
If we can't participate in those liabilities.
So that was it. But I was unaware, like I said, that you had requested for them to speak this evening. I was not party to that, so I did not know. Any other new business?
Yes, so there is.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a couple of things. One, especially, is I was really falsely accused at our last meeting for being unethical and conflict of interest. And before any council member starts pointing fingers at anybody else, I think they need to do their homework. Because in 1981, James Reed passed an ordinance that we, as council members or any city employee, and I can pass it along to anybody else, we have the right that we can work for the city. I felt like I was doing the city a big favor. The newspaper placed me on the front page of the paper saying that my company was unethical, and I really don't appreciate it. And I would like an apology from Barbara and from the Leader newspaper because she did not do her homework when she pointed her finger at me. The second thing I'd like to say is I do not have the answers, but I've been called by a citizen asking why our historical museum is not open. Can anyone tell anybody why the museum is not open right now?
Is that a discussion that, we want to have right now?
Sure. I had a citizen call and ask me why it's not open, and can't tell them why it's not open.
Barbara, do you want me to address it, or would you like to say
I can't
something?
address it because I'm no longer with the Jacksonville Historical Museum as per mayor.
Why is that?
And that actually was not per mayor. I did not ask you to step aside. You voluntarily did that. So let's set the record straight there. I did not do that. Yes.
Do we have the video?
If your people or somebody is wanting to know.
I think we should.
There were some activities that were taking place at the museum that were not legal. And so the History Museum was closed due to those activities and investigation. And at that point in time, Ms. Mashburn and her brother both stepped aside from that leadership role. So she is correct when she says she is not a part of that institution right now. There is actually discussions going on between the remaining the board members of the museum and the Jacksonville Military Museum of a joining of the two to keep all the artifacts, the items, everything that the historical museum has done to keep that alive and to keep that going. So there are discussions right now, like I said, between those two entities to move forward with that.
That's what people have asked me, what happens with everything that was in there and the money that was collected, was it ever turned in? Or was there any money collected? I have my mic on, sorry. Sorry.
I'm part of the thing also, I'm with the discussion and everything's still in place.
Okay.
And the mayor and I, we come to the conclusion that we want to try to do it like he said with the military museum and the Jacksonville Museum, with the same core, trying to say manager, let me put it that way. I can't say
Curator.
curator. That's what I'm trying to say. Put all that together. And I think that'd be good for the Jacksonville.
So the records are being moved over to there?
Yes.
Money, records, all of that would be moved over, anything that, okay.
Who holds the money for that right now?
To my knowledge, I'm not aware of, I don't know what money is there or if there is even any money there. So, and that would be the museum back in September. So,
But there was a charge to go into the museum?
yes, there was a suggested $5 admission.
And that money went where?
Those funds are not the responsibility of the city of Jacksonville. The district.
I think, I'd like to add, I think, Councilmember Ray said everything's under control and taken care of. That should suffice any questions that you may have.
So, yeah, it is, like I said, there is a plan being worked now between the two organizations to keep it alive and to keep it going. Elizabeth who is the curator director of the military museum, is thrilled. She is ecstatic over this and the possibilities of what can be. So we're pleased with that.
Who owns the contents of the museum?
Who owns the contents of the
Who
museum?
do they belong to?
Well, a lot of the contents that were there were on loan or,
Donated.
donated to be on there, but I don't know the percentage of what was quote loan and what was actually donated. But
Well, what type of illegal activities were going on there?
Okay.
I really don't want to get into that at this point in time, if you don't mind.
I think everybody should know.
Well, most of it was in the paper, and I don't think this is a good time for that discussion to take place. So anybody who would like to know anything is more than welcome.
All right. So, last part of the meeting there is them talking about Joy Kinman was the one, if you recall, a couple of videos ago I did the unethical behavior when the city allowed her company, her construction company, to place a low bid, so that she could benefit from it as a city council member. She's a sitting city council member, and her business was the low bid that won the decision for the city to use them to do repairs to a fire department, remodel some stuff on a fire department, Station 4 here in Jacksonville. Just so happens that this is the first city council meeting that we've had since that meeting, and Joy Kinman decides to lie. I know it was a lie, and I'm okay with saying it was a lie, Joy. Everybody wants to call me a liar. Everybody wants to say that I'll call you out. To say that ain't no citizen asked you about that. You knew that was in the leader paper, the issues with the historical museum, and that yes, Barbara Mashburn was in charge or over it, or had some type of association with it. You knew all that. You knew, you read the paper. There'd been no discussions. You were just mad because you got called out. You wanted an apology from Barbara Mashburn because she called the ethics commission, and they in fact said that what the city was doing was unethical, and they got proved wrong. Okay. They got proved, or excuse me, they got pie in their face. It is unethical. You shouldn't be allowed. Your company shouldn't be allowed to work on that. You know that. You brought up some ordinance from 1981 under Mayor James Reed, which everybody knows that, this has been an ongoing issue for years and years and decades with the city of Jacksonville of how they do shady business, how they allow their departments to do shady business, how they allow their officers, the anybody to do some type of shady business. If you're in the good old boy system, you're good. And I guess, Joey, you're in the good old boy system or good old girl system because you think you deserve or think you're owed some type of an apology from Barbara Mashburn because she called you out on the carpet. She called the city council out on the carpet. I think how you acted was childish and very unprofessional. And I'd like to see you gone. I'd like to see Mary Twitty gone because everybody knows that you two are connected at the hip. You went up, you bought food for the police department, you had food donated or meat donated from some ranch and did taco night up there at the police department. It wasn't all the city council members. It was just you and Joy Kinman, or you and Mary Twitty. I'm sorry, but yeah, you know that what you're doing is wrong. You both of you should be gone. Okay, both of you should be gone. You took Tara Smith's place on the city council as Mary Twitty's good friend, partner in crime, because that's what y'all are, partners in crime. I don't care for either one of you, and I don't care if you know about it. It is what it is. That's my opinion, and I didn't vote for you, and I wouldn't vote for you. I'd vote for a dirt clod before I'd vote for either one of you up on that city council. But yeah, so that's my opinion, and that's, again, that's how childish I think that this city council is getting. But yet they'll discuss that stuff out in front of you. The mayor won't do a whole lot to shut that down, but by God, he won't talk about the pay raises. He won't talk about the budget. And the city council's not going to raise any cane about the budget, or at least most of them aren't, because they're getting money from it. But there are a few of them on there that are not happy with it because they want to know where the money's going to come from. Answer that, Mr. Mayor. Where's the money going to come from? Show me the money. Show me the money. But citizens of Jacksonville, you are the ones that's got to come up and stand up in front of the police department, stand up in front of the city hall, stand up in front of these organizations inside this city and say no more. No more. I was going to discuss the meeting that we had last week on tonight's video. I will touch base on that real quick. The meeting didn't happen due to some unforeseen circumstances, but we are scheduled again for this Wednesday, November. Let me make sure I tell you right here, guys. November 13th at 9 o'clock or 9:30. We're scheduled for that meeting with the mayor, the city attorney, and Lieutenant Chris Burrow of the Jacksonville Police Department. Again, I'm going to bring up some questions in reference to the officer urinating in public. I'm going to bring up questions too about these pay raises. I'm going to bring up some questions on a lot of things about how these investigations are done and how long does it take them to do investigations and so forth. So hopefully I'll have a lot better video. There's going to be a lot of notes taken Wednesday, and we're going to go from there. So again. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope everybody has a great week. Today, happy birthday to the United States Marine Corps, Hoorah and Semper Fi. And to all my veterans out there, my fellow veterans out there, tomorrow, November 11th is Veterans Day. And I want to say thank you for all that you have done to serve this country. It takes a lot to sign the dotted line, and it takes a lot to spend 20 plus years in any branch of the military. So to all my fellow veterans out there, thank you for everything that you've done for this country. Thank you for the ones that are out there working hard for their communities and for their cities or their states now. And I greatly appreciate it. And we will see y'all next Sunday. It looks like it's going to be the 17th of November, unless I come out and do a video on the road about what we discussed in the meeting, which very well might happen. So keep your notifications on. Again, before I get out of here, like, share, and please comment what you think on the videos. And I hope everybody has a blessed and safe week. Thank you very much.